What's up, guys? Joe. As you know, I need to make more thumbnail pics. I'm trying to figure something else out, actually. I'm trying to simplify it. I mean, like, I always like make a stupid face, and then like I need to take screen capture. Then I need to take that shit to Adobe and yada yada. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that simpler, and I actually found something. Obviously using the phone, but I'll make another video about that. I got a question during a live stream. I guess the topic of like editing off a SSD came up, and I think we're talking about like using DaVinci Resolve on a tablet and how tablets could be limited on space depending on the version you get, and if it's possible if you can edit off an external storage device, an SSD, right? And I told him that yeah, that's basically, for the most part, it's kind of what I do, working on Paul's videos, right? Paul actually got this for me almost as a kind of like a Christmas gift or whatever. He just got it for me. He got on sale, cyber fucking discount thing or whatever. But it's basically the SanDisk 2TB extreme portable SSD and all this other info, right? Now, a few things to keep in note. Obviously, if you have an old storage device, say like I don't know, something you had for like a long ass time, probably older than 5 years or so, obviously the disk and write speeds have changed big time, right? And like even though I work for a tech channel, I'm still not a fucking pro in this shit at all. I just know like the bare minimum. But the thing is that, like, with current technology, if you want to like work off an external SSD, a good idea to like get something that's more current, right? Definitely do your research, right? Yeah, you want to get something that's type C, more current, gen type of like technology. It's not cheap, obviously, but I mean, it's a tool, right? Now think about buying something like that for yourself, okay? The way how me and Paul work is simply, since he has a computer, set up for me in the office, and I have my own workstation at home. Basically, what I've done is that I've actually say if I'm doing like an animation, right, like the new like Paul's Hardware's intro, something like that, usually I'm using like After Effects to work off it, right? So I actually created a project folder inside of like this storage device when I was creating his intros, say for like tech news or his regular new intros with the 8-bit design and shit like that. I was working off that. I dropped in all my assets inside of like the this SanDisk storage device. I saved all the project files in there along with music, so on and so forth. So I was reading off that storage device, right? Now I was able to like obviously unplug it and go over to the office. I just connected. I had to maybe reconnect a few things, but I was able to show Paul what I was working on. He liked it. Again, I was able to unplug that storage device, come back home, connect it, and then continue working, and then I render out the video, the final version, right? Having something like this has been a massive help, so I can easily jump between computers, right? I can have like that storage device, my SanDisk 2TB storage device, and I can load up all the crap I need, go to Taiwan, I just connect it to my laptop and everything's there, and it reads it off the storage device with no problem. Now a few things though, it's fast enough to work off in the sense if like you're editing off like since we work in 4K, if I was to edit a video using the original files being read off like the 2TB storage device that I have, the playback could be okay enough, right? But the thing with me is that like I always convert my project files into a lossless format, which is Cineform, right? That way the playback is smoother. And usually when I have like create my proxies, I actually have a different like SSD connected into my computer's motherboard to read off from, right? So that's completely different. So yeah, I do work off the RAWs off a storage device, but I do convert it into a proxy format when I'm editing, because they're mainly 4K, right? If it was like a 1080p project, I'm sure like it wouldn't be that problem. The read and write speed should be fast enough to play raw as is, right? But for the most part, I usually work with proxies, right, just to make life easier, right? But if you are working off a laptop or a tablet or something like that, and you want to have more additional space to work off from, get yourself a storage device that has a fast read and write speed, type C connection that's current gen, that way. And also like your computer has to be able to read that too. Okay, oh yeah, I'll end with this. If I try to connect it and say in like the front port of like my computer or a pass-through on my keyboard, it doesn't work that well. It's actually very fucking slow and choppy, right? And like I have issues. I have to connect this storage device, the SanDisk, directly to the motherboard in the back through the USB connector, right? And that way it reads everything properly. So that's something to keep in mind. Not only do you want a fast like storage device, but it has a current built-in technology that has a fast read and write speed, you also want to have a motherboard that's able to like read this thing properly, right? And like I said, I usually connect it directly into like the back of the motherboard in like the Type-C port, because it won't work well in any other, you know, part of like the PC unless it's connected directly into the motherboard in the back. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Definitely do your research, please. You know, I'm just letting you know that it is possible, but make sure you know which storage device to get. That way it works for you, right? And it works properly. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care. Peace.